Grab a beer and pull up a chair. Welcome to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. This is Mike, the Northwoods Beer Guy, and as always, I'm joined by Jim.
Hey, buddy, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Well, it's not very often that in the winter you can see you're dressed in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying this, buddy.
That is
Anytime
for sure.
we can, we got to enjoy it.
That is for sure. And ladies and gentlemen, this is our first on location of season 2 and of 2024.
Correct.
And we are currently sitting in Des Moines, Iowa at Big Grove Brewing.
Yes, it looks like, I think it's almost downtown, I think.
I don't know.
It's hard to tell Des Moines because it's not a huge city.
Right.
But there are some bigger buildings.
Yep. Yeah.
So
that's for sure. And
good
the
indicator.
brewery itself, the building is pretty good size. I mean, the inside, it was really a neat, how would you describe it? Like,
I mean, it looks like it's very well maintained or very new. You know, yeah, it's not run down, but I mean, the decor is very...
Yeah, and it's got like, what I was thinking, it was like the exposed beam type construction. I don't know if you want to call it that, but it looks kind of like that.
And I was trying to look, it looks like, I don't know if these doors are the ones that slide up, you know, like it's got windows doors. Yep. Like in the summertime, they open everything up. To,
And now we are actually sitting outside, and they have like a covered area with a bunch of tables and picnic tables, right, round tables. They have a fire table going, so we're sitting on the one side, so the wind is kind of blowing the heat towards us, but it's really nice down here for the temperature anyway. So
especially considering this technically is winter.
Yes, exactly.
So we're still
doing okay. So I looked on Untappd, Jim, and Big Grove, I have actually had one of their beers before.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and it was an IPA.
All right.
It seems like they have quite a few IPAs.
Right. Yes.
But that's the only beer I've ever had from these guys. So it'll be interesting. We've got 2 flights, so there's 8 different beers. And they're kind of, it seems like they have a lot of kind of lighter beers.
Yeah, almost like they're going towards the college type crowd.
Yeah, there you go. They also had some hard seltzers, but those were in a can.
Yep.
And they had was it ciders?
Right. Yep. Ciders.
Those are in a can also. And then they have some, was it CBD or some kind of infused things? Those are in a can. So you can't get any of that stuff on a flight.
Yep.
So that's fine. We were not.
Right. Well, I think what is cool too, I think the listeners have to look at some of the pictures because I mean they got their tap roll right in the middle of the bar.
Yeah.
It's a circular bar, and then around the inside of the bar, it's like that. I think it's the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. The TVs are on the inside, so you can.
Yeah. So if you're standing at the bar, you're watching TV. They got TVs
multiples
all over.
Yeah.
And it's impressive. I mean, if you want to come to a game or something, or see a game, I should say, you can come here and sit. Pretty much anywhere you sit, there's a giant TV. Well, where we were sitting we had lunch, and the food was really
good food. Yeah.
But they had like a projection screen where they had the one college basketball game going on when we were here. So it was like impressive.
And the wait was not long for the food. I mean, it was all, and it wasn't like fast food quick, but it was all, I think all of us had different food, different drinks.
And it was quick. I went from the time we placed the order, when they brought we had ordered one appetizer, they brought that out. And then when they brought our food out, it was just like
15, 20 minutes max, I think.
Total, from when we ordered to everything was there. So,
well, we can talk more about it. Should we try a beer?
Yeah. So let's, we are going to start with their Citrus Surfer.
All right.
And it is a wheat beer, American Pale Wheat.
All right.
Crushable waves of citrus with a smooth, refreshing finish. Our light and smooth citrus wheat is a twist on our award-winning wheat beers that bursts with real citrus. So this is a 4.8% ABV.
Okay, well that's...
So it looks...
Definitely, it's got a little cloudy like a wheat beer.
Oh, it smells. You can see it smells like a wheat beer, but not over the top.
Oh, good. And for this, we're both sharing the flight because these are 7 ounce.
They're 7 ounce pours, so they're bigger than most normal. Most of the time, they're like a 5 ounce pour.
Right. So these are some pretty decent glasses. So I think we're going to get a good taste of.
That's got some good flavor to it.
Yeah, you can smell the wheatness.
Yep, the wheatness. Yes, that's a technical term is wheatness. So for a wheat beer, that has got a pretty decent flavor. It's not
the citrus balances with it really good.
That's got to be what it is the citrus is kind of taming down the wheat flavor.
Because I mean the color of it is a little bit hazy, not overly hazy, but you can, now that you have all the beers out here, you can see the difference in how different the
this
color is.
This one, because we do have one IPA. It's a hazy IPA, and this one is closer to the hazy IPA color than the other ones are very clear.
Right.
So,
but I mean, this has a pretty good taste. I mean, nothing horrible.
Not at all.
I mean, and especially for wheat beer, it's tamed down considerably.
Yep, I agree. So, boy, what do you think of on the first one?
Well, I'm not a big wheat beer guy, so I don't want to break the glass case on this one. But I'm thinking that it's a solid 2.8 for me.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I mean, I don't know what you're thinking.
No, I was thinking 2.7, 2.8. And for a wheat beer, that's actually a pretty high score.
I know. Is it too high?
No. I think I do like how that citrus, you can taste the citrus, and it does really balance well with the wheat. So I'd go 2.8 as well. I think that's a good one.
Yep. Well, we got our first one done for the long trip we're going to have. So this is
so
a good way to start off.
We've got some we're hoping to do at least 3 more breweries when we're on this trip. And we've kind of got them staked out a little bit. And I think one of them is going to be right down the alley that we want to go. But we'll save that.
I think we noticed this one, there's no barrel aged.
No, I mean, and even their dark, their malty beers that they called it. It's like Altbier, Schwarzbier. I think they didn't have like stouts, anything like that.
No barrel aged, no stout. It's nothing what we're accustomed to by calling it dark.
Right, exactly.
I mean, even when you had your old fashioned, it looked like it was pure alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
But in Wisconsin, it's mixed with a lot more.
Right. I was going to say, and that's the thing. I never realized that Wisconsin is one of the only places that mixes stuff with it. When we were in Kentucky,
that would have helped to cut it a little bit.
Oh, yeah. That one was, that first taste, you're like, whoa.
You definitely know there's alcohol in there.
Yeah. When we went to Kentucky, it was the same thing.
Oh, they don't mix.
They didn't mix anything in with it there.
So it's almost pure alcohol, just different flavors of alcohol. Oh,
yes.
So it gets your attention.
But I think between the two, I did kind of like the one in Kentucky, because Kentucky is known for bourbon.
So they mix a little more bourbon in with the.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're using kind of and it was a craft distillery. So it was really a good flavored.
Right. Well, that's good
stuff. So all right. Well, let's see. So the next one number two is the Czech Pils. It is a classic Czech Pils, smooth and crisp with a mild hop bitterness, brewed in our Des Moines brewery. So brewed here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook under NorthwoodsBeerGuy, I'll have pictures of. I took pictures of where the brewing is, the building itself. I'll have to take a picture of out here.
Yeah,
where we're sitting. That's pretty cool. So this one was a 4.7%.
All right. Well, that's not so bad.
No,
there's still.
So I'm noticing that I think a lot of theirs are kind of a lower. Like you said, I think aimed a little more at maybe the college crowd. Well,
I mean, even the people that you see in it are not. Yeah. They're not older.
No.
But again, we're in the middle of the week, and it's not late in the day, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
Correct. Yeah, those college kids should be at class right now, right?
Right. Well, that's got a little bit of a bite.
This definitely has a Pilsner flavor.
Yes.
It does remind me of like all the Czech Pilsners that we had before, but it's good.
It's not offensive anyway.
No. So like compared to like your normal Miller Lite type Pilsners. This does have more flavor.
Right, yes, it does.
So this is kind of, again, aimed at I don't know how you want to say it. It's not.
I was trying to look here. I think we're going to have a regular Pilsner. Well, we're going to have a lager. A lager.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, this one, if you're looking for a little bit of flavor, this is definitely, and it's only 4.7%.
Yep.
So it's not.
You can drink a few of them and be fine.
Right. I think
a lot of the mass-produced ones are, 3 point something percent. So this is a little higher alcohol, but still, it's good flavor.
And I'm just looking on their list here. So their 16-ounce draft is still only $6.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, that's still very reasonably priced. And you're in a downtown setting, so you almost expect this price is going to be a little higher.
Right.
But this doesn't
more than that.
Right. It doesn't seem like it's. Again, we're not very familiar with the town and the settings. It's hard to say exactly where we are.
Right.
But there's not. And it is the wintertime, so I don't know if the people aren't just walking around or what.
Right, yeah. Maybe in the summer I could see it being definitely busier, especially like dinner time.
Right,
like 5, 6 o'clock, I bet it picks up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Where, like you said, we're kind of earlier in the day on a Thursday, but,
And it's not like I'm just trying to look for the parking. That might be the only thing that's probably the only thing that I see. Because they got more chairs and more seats than there's even close to
if
parking.
If there was this many people here, I'm not sure where you'd park.
Yeah, you'd have to either catch a ride with somebody, catch a ride with your buddy, or be living in one of these apartments.
Apartment. And then, boy, that'd be a problem, wouldn't it, if we living in one of these apartments?
We wouldn't have to stumble very far.
No, that's true. We'd have to get a job here, though.
Helping.
Well, hey, okay, getting back to the Czech Pilsner.
Our Czech, what are you thinking on the score?
You know, I like it. I think it's got a good flavor compared to, like I said before, your mass-produced ones. This is definitely better.
Right.
I'm still going to say for a Pilsner, Pilsners are a Pilsner. I'm going to go at 2.5 just because I think for a Pilsner, it's a good Pilsner, but again, it's kind of overall. Pilsners to me don't rate as high.
Right, because there's not, you're not going to get an overly amount of flavor. Mm-hmm. You're going to get a little bit, and this has a...
And this does remind me of when you and Toby and I were trying some of those German Czech ones.
Yes.
It does have a similar flavor to what some of those had.
And which is good, which it gives you a little bit of... It lets you know there's something there.
Yep.
It's not like the regular big box ones where you can drink it and you don't really taste much.
Exactly.
I think I'm just going to go one tick higher. I'm going to go 2.6.
Okay.
And hope I don't paint myself into a corner.
Right.
But this is a good one. There's nothing wrong with the beer at all.
No, not at all. Like I said, the flavor is very good.
Yes.
And nothing wrong with that.
I don't know if you here want to hit some of the stuff that talked a little bit about the...
Yeah, so what Jim had found out about these guys is that in 2013, Big Grove Brewery opened its first location in, is it Solon? S-O-L-O-N, Iowa. With a foundation of quality beer, great food, and genuine Iowa hospitality, our team has seen amazing success in our first decade. We're committed to crafting authentic food and beer, and through that work, creating a better world for everyone. Over the years, we've partnered with Iowa organizations such as Domestic Violence Intervention Program, National Alliance on Mental Illness, and many more to promote a happier, healthier, and cleaner world. A trip to Big Grove is a true taste of Iowa nice and some of the best craft beer in the Midwest. We're honored to serve you in our tap rooms and breweries in Solon, Iowa City, Des Moines, and in the fall of 2023, Cedar Rapids. We're rooted in Iowa. So
that's good. That's cool.
So they'll have four locations. Yeah, that's cool.
All right. So what do we got?
So the next one we have is Rack Stowed, and this is a cream ale, and it's 4.7%.
All right. Same as the others.
Yep. Brewed for the crew members, commissioning team, and friends of the USS Iowa submarine. Collaboration with Outer Light Brewing Company. So brewed for the crew members, commissioning team. So what is that?
So I believe I was a part of the department of the Navy.
Correct.
But not in the Navy.
Not directly, yes.
So I think that when you have a new vessel, the vessel sits in the dry dock while it's getting built.
Yep.
And I think there's still sailors that are part of that ship while it's getting made.
Okay.
So that is part of the commissioning crew. Then they actually take the vessel out and they do all the testing with it. And then that's probably like a 2 to 3 year period. And then when it is ready to go underway, like for its official voyage, then they actually start swapping out and they get with an official crew. So there's a commissioning crew because it has to work on all the bugs. Right. Since everything's brand new, they don't.
So they kind of test everything.
Yep.
Okay.
Along with the contractor that's building it.
Okay.
So
cool.
That would be my understanding. So I didn't realize that I've heard of the battleship Iowa.
Yep.
I didn't know there was a submarine Iowa. So we're learning something.
All right. So this is their cream ale.
Cream ale. All right. Well,
it's pretty smooth.
Oh wow, that's
flavor-wise. There's not a huge amount of flavor.
There's not, but it's very smooth.
Very smooth. The mouthfeel is very smooth.
Yeah,
so I'm impressed with that.
And this is only 4.7.
It's kind of like any of the other cream ales, other than the Kentucky bourbon or the Lexington Brewing one.
Yep.
That cream ale had flavor because it was barrel aged. Where I think most of the cream ales we've had have been kind of like this, where they're pretty mellow,
nondescript. It doesn't even really give a flavor even in the write-up. They didn't even talk about a flavor in particular.
So with their partnerships and things like that, which is cool.
Right.
What are you thinking on a score on that one?
Well, like you said, I think I'm gonna have to knock it a few notches just because it is lacking a little bit of flavor. I'm gonna go 2.4.
Okay.
It's close because it's nothing bad. I think I could have a couple of those without any problem. And there's no bad aftertaste. There's nothing. But like you said, for a cream ale, just a little bit more flavor.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go like a 2.3.
All right.
But for the same reason. I think it's a good beer. You could drink a number of them, but the flavor, I think, is just kind of lacking.
Yeah.
Mouthfeel is very nice. It's very smooth, all that, but there's just not a lot of flavor to it.
Mowing your lawn, hot day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think you could definitely.
You could pound a number of those. But like I said, I was just kind of was hoping for a little bit more flavor, but.
And that's cool. They got quite a few different tap rooms and breweries.
Yeah.
So that's got to be an indicator right there. Because I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure I could even recall off the top of my head how many craft breweries, where we're actually at the brewery, has more than one location.
Right. I don't think that, not all that many. I mean, there are some, but there's like the bigger ones, you know.
But like this has 3, and so that's got to tell you that people like what they're brewing.
Well, yeah, and the food was very good.
Yep.
You know, we've been
service is really good.
Yeah, that was impressive. So,
which is good. I mean, if you're gonna, especially in this kind of market where the way people aren't spending like they used to, you gotta really tailor to your customer.
Exactly.
And be there for them.
Yep.
And I think everything I've seen so far been very impressive.
You know, it would be interesting to know, like on a normal Friday night, Saturday night, is the wait longer?
Oh, right.
You know what I mean, for your food? And so it probably is. Because it was, I mean, there was a number of people in there. It wasn't a full house, but it was quite a few people.
Oh, yeah.
But it was quick. So I just wonder if it's like that all the time, or, you know, if it's, I'm sure it does slow down a little bit if they get in swamps. So,
but I mean, like we walked up to the bar and it's actually got a spot for if you want to order from the bar. And then there's lots of places to sit outside. So you could grab if you're waiting to eat, you could always grab your beer and just come right out here and sit down.
Yep, exactly. Well, hey, we got one more on this flight.
All right.
And this is their Sherman Hill Champagne.
Okay.
And this is an American light lager.
A light lager.
4.2%. So a little bit lower than what the first ones were.
Okay.
Designed and developed at our Des Moines brewery to honor our historic neighborhood. This classic light lager, the perfect light and refreshing beer for any occasion.
I mean, it definitely looks, the color is very see-throughable.
Very, yes, very.
It's light yellow, not even.
Very filtered looking, very clear.
It's not, this is probably the last of any of the yellowish color beers. The rest of them are going to be a little different. Not much for aroma. Flavor-wise, it's not too bad. I was kind of surprised. Wow.
Kind of surprised it's got more flavor than I was expecting. They said you smelled it and there really wasn't any aroma at all.
That's probably my favorite one so far.
I was going to say it's kind of up there.
Yeah, that's very surprising.
That's like surprising.
Surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna shoot off with a 2.9.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that they know it's my best ones.
There you go.
That flight, without a doubt.
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to decide. Okay, do I go above or below the citrus? You know, because that one was good. I might go a step below. I'm gonna go 2.7.
All right.
So I like the citrus wheat a little bit better. But this, like I said, this shocked me. I thought it was going to be real no flavor.
Right, no flavor.
So I figured
that one. I think I can drink a couple. I mean, like you said, the wheat beer was good, and that citrus really balanced it. But this one, I think, for a lager, that's like wow,
that's surprising.
Very, very impressive.
Very surprising.
Which is a good thing.
Oh yeah,
good surprising, not a bad surprising.
Correct. I'd rather be surprised in a good way than surprised going like we've had a number of times when we were surprised the other way.
I mean, we do have a couple on this next flight that might surprise us, and I'm hoping it's a good surprise.
Yeah, we will. So
we're sliding one.
We're moving one flight.
Have we seen a flight set up this way? I don't know if you want to.
I took a picture.
Did you see?
Yep.
So
it's like your normal
paddle
like you see, but it's basically made out of like a clear acrylic plastic.
And then beer glasses must be tapered. Yep. Because they like slide right in the holes.
Yep. And then it's
it does not slip out. Like the ones that just got a flat paddle.
Right.
Those can move around.
And those are always like, I hope I don't drop it, you know.
Yeah.
But this, no, it won't drop out of that.
No, I mean.
So this group here, we have one IPA and then we have the three malty.
Right, that they call dark.
Yeah, what they call dark.
Which we don't. They look a little darker, but I don't know about
They look kind of like brown ales, so to speak. So the first one we got is their Haze, you guys.
Okay.
And it is a session IPA.
All right.
4.7% ABV. Not partaking in dry January. Looking to have more than one hazy IPA without worrying about high ABV. Haze, you guys, is a flavor-packed session IPA. And then it got cut off. So I don't know what the rest of their description was, but...
All right. Well, that's cool.
But it looks like a hazy IPA.
Yes. Oh, ooh. You know why I think so? Because when I seen the word IPA,
you just went, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I didn't think we were going to have to.
Wow, it smells like an IPA.
So there's some hop in there, huh? Oh, yeah, there's some. Is that hop or is that grapefruit?
Well, the grapefruit comes from the hop.
Ooh.
You know, you've either got grapefruit or you got pine. Is kind of the
wow. Yeah,
this one is kind of surprising. Not the other way, but it's definitely a stronger IPA flavor.
Yeah,
than what I thought it was going to be.
But I mean, I guess if there is a good thing with it, it doesn't linger in your mouth.
No, it's gone pretty quick.
It goes away. So I mean, if you are an IPA drinker, I think you'd enjoy it because it doesn't really sit with you for a long time.
Right.
It goes away relatively quick.
Correct. That's a good point, Jim, because you do have that initial upfront, that first taste was like, whoa, you get it, but then it was gone.
Right.
So I'm going to try it again here, just see if...
And it is a hazy IPA, so I mean, I think that's one of the characteristics too. Mm-hmm. It's not as strong or as bitter. The smell, I think, is a lot worse than the taste.
The second taste I took, it's definitely mellowed. Even the flavor is mellowed.
Right.
Just because it's that initial, your taste buds are going, whoa, wait a minute, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I'm difficult to judge because I'm not a good IPA guy. You want to go first so I can get a ballpark for what you think?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, this one isn't bad. Like you said, if you're not a big IPA guy, this would probably be a good one because that aftertaste is gone pretty quick.
Yep.
Flavor-wise, I think it's kind of spot on for what it is.
Yep.
Aroma, you can definitely smell you can smell the hops.
Yep.
So I would say, for me, I'm going to go I'll go a 2.6. Honestly, I think it's a little better than average. But it's not, like I said, I think if we went with some of those other ones that are higher ABV, I think that would have been more harsh.
Oh, right. Yes.
My opinion. Where this one I think is pretty mellow on the taste.
Yeah. So I think for me, unfortunately,
I know you're not a big IPA guy.
So it does taste okay to me. It's definitely not bad. It's not offensive, but it's an IPA, and you know you're tasting an IPA. So I'm going to have to go a little bit lower. I'm going to go a 2.3.
Yep.
Not that it's not horrendous, but it's just not in my wheelhouse.
Right.
I'll take one little more sip, but then you can have the rest.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, it's just one of those where I'm glad we took this one, just because it is a little easier drinking, I think. You know, if we're ever back in the area, then I'd probably try one because they had some that were like Imperial or like a double IPA, things like that. And some of those I think went up to almost 9%, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Was there 20 some on tap, wasn't there?
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 on tap. So that's about, I think, above average for the number. And they're all a little bit different. So I mean, that's a good thing. And
just how they had the whole thing set up, like I said, it's really cool. The one end of the place is here's the brewery, here's where you eat, here's the bar. You know, that's pretty cool.
And it's all open. I mean, the music is decent. I mean, it's not like, I don't think it's not country. It's probably old rock. Maybe is that what it would?
Yeah, I was going to say it's older,
Steely
70s, 80s.
I mean, so it's pretty
and they may change that up too, but right now.
Right. So I mean, it's designed. I think it's made so people can actually talk.
Right.
So
it's not like some kind of
it's not the
super heavy stuff. Okay.
So what do we got on tap?
Ain't my fault.
Ain't your fault.
So it must be your fault.
All right.
So this is Ain't My Fault. It's a traditional Altbier. Altbier. It's 5.2%. And what they said on this one is German-style brown with just a touch of roast character and rich notes of toffee, caramel, and bread crust from a heavy dose of German Munich malts.
Huh.
So if you want to, you can start that one out if you want.
All right. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. What is an Altbier? I don't know if I've ever had an Altbier.
Well, it's a German style.
Okay.
Kind of like what we have some of those here, the Schwarzbiers and things like that.
Okay.
I've had a number of alt beers, and they're good. This is definitely like a brown. You look at it, it's like a brown.
It's got
you can smell it. The aroma smells like what you would think like an alt beer or Schwarzbier would be.
And the flavor's not bad. It's just different, I guess. Not being used to a alt beer, not really knowing what to expect.
Right.
So I mean, it tastes good. It tastes decent.
Yeah, I think it's for an alt beer, it's decent.
So that flavor, is that the kind of the burnt malt? Is that kind of what
it's the malt? Yeah,
maltiness.
The malt, that Munich malt is where you get like that bready. I definitely can get like a caramel kind of a sweetness.
That's what that
is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and when they say toffee, sometimes it's kind of hit or miss. You can either taste it or you can't. This one, you can tell something's there. The bready kind of taste, I guess that's.
And this is a 5.2.
5.2. Yeah.
So it's not over the top in ABV. The flavor, and again, I almost have to say this might be my first alt beer. Is ALT.
Altbier.
Altbier. So it's different. I mean, I think if you're looking for something a little different, you could definitely step out. Yep. This would be a good one. Just if you're out experimenting, this would be a good beer to try.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's not the flavors aren't like over the top strong. Where some of the other German styles can have a stronger flavor.
Right.
Where this I think is more of kind of your, I don't want to say introductory, but it's kind of your mellower.
Yes.
Getting into that realm, so to speak.
Right. So what are you thinking on the score for this?
This one, it's decent. I'm probably gonna go with like a. See, now we kind of stuck again.
Yeah, you got Peter into a corner.
Well, I'm gonna have a tie.
All right.
I'm gonna go with a 2.7.
All right, one of your better ones then.
Yeah, I do like it.
Okay.
Like I said, it's I definitely get that caramel, and you can get kind of that breadiness to it, and I think it's decent. I like it.
Okay. Well, good thing for me. See, I had that slot open.
I see that.
So I'm going to go with 2.7 as well. I like it, but see, I got a slot where I'm not even over. I don't have a double up anywhere, so I was thinking ahead, trying to give myself.
Man, we need to have like a pre-production meeting so we can get this down better. That's funny.
Yeah, so that worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
So we're down to our last 2 out of 8.
2, yeah.
We've got 2 flights of 4.
Yep.
That's
that's
pretty good too.
So far, of the 6 we've had, none of them have been terrible or anything. We're like, I wouldn't drink that.
No, I'm not.
So,
I mean, all of them have. They have flavor too. I mean,
yes.
they're not lacking in flavor.
Right.
But they are lower in ABV.
Yes. Yep.
Which is not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. So it's because they did, like I said, they do have some options that are a little bit higher.
Right.
And I think it was more their IPA line.
Right. They had an Imperial I saw on there.
Yeah, 8.3. Here's a 9. So they do have another 9. So they have some, but it's more on their IPA side. So I'm guessing that must be more what they're known for are their IPAs. So the next one we have, speaking of, these next 2 are both, I think, kind of German styles.
All right.
So this is Dual Rangers.
Okay.
And this is a Schwarzbier.
Okay.
So this one, if you see, is a little bit darker than what the Altbier was. And this one, the flavor should be a little bit stronger flavor.
All right.
As far as the other Schwarzbiers I've had. I think it's a little bit stronger flavor.
Okay.
So let's see. This is 4.7%. And what they said on this one was, Dual Rangers is a tough and reliable Schwarzbier that you can put your faith into. Dark and roasty with notes of coffee and dark chocolate. It's slightly sweet, and then you cut it off. So,
all right. Well, this one looks a little bit darker. This is probably the
darkest one of the group.
Yep, of the 8. So I hope we got some high expectations.
Oh, yeah, this smells like a Schwarzbier.
Some higher expectations.
It's like, you remember the Altbier, what that smelled like? This one is just kind of a notch higher.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're always looking for flavor. Yep, you can smell. It does very similar to that previous one.
Yeah, and I say I can get a little hint of coffee more towards the finish.
I don't get the chocolate.
No, I'm not getting the chocolate. I do. And the coffee is not like a strong flavor either, but it's like right at the end of the swallow. You're kind of like, oh, there it was.
Small hint of it.
Yeah.
That's almost a little disappointing. I was kind of expecting a little bit more. I don't know what
I was thinking the exact same thing. So
I mean, the aroma is there, but the taste is definitely not there.
Right, because I've had some other Schwarzbiers that are outstanding.
Yes.
And that's what I was hoping this was. It's still a good one. Yeah. It's not exactly what I was expecting.
Right. I mean, the write-up was good. The talk with what was in there, what they were trying to put into it to get you to taste.
Yes. Yep.
But I just don't know if all those flavors are coming through.
No, like I said, and that taster, the coffee really doesn't really come through either.
Some of our friends that don't like coffee and cigarettes, this would be the
probably
coffee and cigarette beer that they like.
Yeah, they'd be like, that's a good one. What's in it? Coffee and cigarettes? That's funny. Yeah. We have a friend of ours, that's any dark beer that we have. Oh, no, I'm not tasting that. Why? That's coffee and cigarettes.
It's too dark.
And BK was somewhere, I think it was BK, and he had found one that was called coffee and cigarettes.
Oh, really?
I thought he was going to buy it, but I don't think he ended up, he didn't get it or something. I was like, that would be so funny if we could find.
We'd tape it up and not even let know what it is.
And they go, here, what is it? And then
it is coffee and cigarettes. Finally, yeah. We found it right there.
Because there's been some times, when they talk about, you get notes of tobacco, and then it's like, really? I don't know about that.
No, not even close.
I never thought about sticking, anytime you've seen a cigarette in a drink, it's because somebody threw it in there, and you go, that goes back.
Or they peeled it back and the tobacco fall, which is not good.
No, exactly.
Well, I'll start it off, and again, I happen to have a spot for a 2.5, which I think is still a decent beer. And I think they could take it to the next level if they had a little more flavor with it.
Yep.
So
and
that's the only thing I would recommend.
I actually have a spot for it too. Mine's 2.4 though.
Oh, you're going a little bit below average.
Below average.
All right.
I just think it's kind of lacking a little bit. It had great potential.
Yes. See, I already had a 2.4, so I couldn't.
Yeah. I didn't
thinking,
though. I was good there.
I was thinking about it.
What do I got left?
Only the low twos.
Low twos and
is all it's
pushing
left.
3.
Yeah. So we're on our last beer for Big Grove, and a good tasting.
Yeah.
The first one of the
considering these are the first beers. Like I said, I did have one IPA from them at some point,
right?
And that's the only beer. So this is by far the most of their beers I've ever had. And I mean, overall, it's been good.
I mean, definitely not bad. I mean, highly recommendable.
Yeah. So this last beer,
okay.
I know you picked this one.
Oh, because it was a dark beer.
No, because of the name.
Oh,
Satisfied Fool.
Oh, you funny guy.
This is a Vienna lager.
All right.
5% ABV. Style of lager called for its namesake city in Austria. This lager really lets the malt shine with notes of caramel, toffee, toasted bread, honey, and just enough noble something.
Okay,
because I got cut off.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, that's what I'm noticing. They got a lot of like European influence.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. That is definitely, at least on their quote unquote darker beers.
Right, where they're, the way they talked about them and how they're crafting them. This is almost, I mean, you can see through this one too.
Yeah,
but it is brownish.
It's brownish. That'd be one thing that'd be interesting to find out or to know is, do they do seasonal? Like, do they have, when winter is just starting, do they have stouts or anything? Or I kind of doubt it.
Right. Well,
I'm thinking they may have this niche of kind of the IPAs and then some of this other lighter stuff.
Yeah,
is what I'm guessing.
Right. Well, I mean, if they've opened their third taproom brewery, right? They've definitely found a niche
for sure
that people are liking and falling in with. So, I mean, that's all the more power to them. We don't see many of these beers back at our home, other than, like you said, there was that one, and I don't even know if that was in.
And I don't know if that would have been. I don't even, or if it was when I was down here for, when Callie had basketball or something, and we ate dinner somewhere, and they probably had it on tap. But yeah, this is. Like I said, I had never heard of, well, apparently I had one, but like I said, I'd never heard of Big Grove Brewing before. Yeah. And I was impressed. I'm impressed with the place.
Cool place.
Yeah.
Well, let's do our final score, then our final wrap up.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
On the Vienna lager, I'm going to go another 2.4. I know I got another tie, but it just kind of, it's there. You do get some of the flavors, but I think it could benefit a lot from just a little bit more of something.
Yes. And I think you're spot on. I was going to go 2.4, and I'm actually going to have a tie. I think for the first time in our podcast
I was going to say,
ever.
You feel dirty, don't you?
I didn't want to, but it's not a bad beer, so I didn't want to knock it down.
Right.
And I think all of our scores, just looking at them, they're all between 2.3 and 2.9.
Yeah, and mine are 2.3 to 2.8.
Right, so yours are even more compact.
8 beers, and they're within the half a point,
So that's, so you're not going to get blown out by the over-the-top flavor if you come here.
Correct.
This is all good beers, all decent, all something that anybody could drink if they wanted to.
Yep, I agree with you, Jim. And like I said, I do think that they have found a niche, and I think that's kind of where they're focusing their brewing on.
Right.
Like I said, you can tell they have a lot of IPAs, so that must be. And it seems like most college towns is kind of IPAs and the sours are kind of what they focus on. But overall, I think this was a good.
So what
place.
You're saying is that we're the older men like the bourbon stuff with their cigars and
the real men, not like the bourbon, the barrel aged stuff.
But this was still, I think, a good tasting for us.
Yep.
I mean, it was our first stop. I mean, we had not been here before, didn't know what to expect.
Nope.
So we were just going by what we found on the internet. Hopefully, we gave everybody a little bit of idea what it's like.
Sure. And I guess of these 8. Is there one or two that you would say, hey, give this a shot?
Well, I definitely like that champagne.
Yep.
That to me was the best, and that citrus was right up there. I think those were the top 2. I'm definitely right. The other ones are okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not horrendous, but I think those 2 really surprised me.
Yep.
Not going in, not really knowing what to expect. Those were probably the best.
And I agree 100%. The only difference was I liked the citrus a little bit better, just one notch better than the champagne.
Yep.
Those, I do think, I agree with you, those were the top 2 for flavor that we had.
Yes.
I think any of these, anyone could drink them.
Yes. Any one of these beers.
Any one of them.
Yep.
And if you've never had, an IPA or a Schwarzbier or whatever, or Altbier, any of those, these are very mellow flavors where
if you're the introductory novice craft beer drinker,
you would not be offended.
Right. You can stop by here and have a good time.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I said, the food was really very good.
Yes.
So yeah, I think this. I'm glad we stopped. And yeah, so like I said, we got a few more places that we're going to do on this whirlwind tour of the Des Moines, Iowa area,
the central and northeastern Iowa.
Yep.
So
we'll be
hopefully we're giving everybody a little bit of a sampling of some of the good craft beers
what's out there.
Yeah.
And and if you're ever I don't remember, it was Sherman Hill area.
Oh, right.
Of Des Moines, make sure to stop at Big Grove Brewing, because it's I think you'd be really pleasantly surprised.
Yes.
And I like it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I recommend any of these beers, and if somebody needs some help getting down here, just let us know. We'll help you navigate down here.
Of course, it'll cost you a few beers to have us come with you, but that's okay.
We'd enjoy the trip too.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, hey, I tell you what, Jim, I think we will wrap it up from here, and we will kind of move on to the next place, I guess.
All right.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here at Big Grove Brewing in Des Moines, Iowa. And like we always say, we hope your campfire is always warm
and your beers are always cold.
See ya.
Take it easy. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untappd, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.